Hello! Oh my gosh!
That might have been
very exciting.
Oh my gosh.
That might have been my test tone.
Okay, everyone raise their hands in favor of having that as our just tone.
A little jingle to welcome us in.
It was the alert that the WordNerds were live.
Yeah. Oh,
Yay!
yay, we're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first write-in of 2018. We're gonna get some new year, new words, right? So if this is your first write-in with us, welcome. Basically what we're gonna do is we're going to write we usually do 20-minute sprints. We write for 20 minutes and then we answer questions and talk about how we've done, and we read your comments and questions over in the discussion bar. So definitely be leaving those there for us. So we'll start off by talking about what we're all working on tonight. And the first person I have is Desiree.
Tonight I'm going to be working on my nano novel that never got finished. So I'm going to try to finish that at some point.
And then I have Kelly.
I'm mostly getting ready for next week. I don't think I'm going to be doing any writing. I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of plotting and just playing with my bullet journal and kind of breaking up what I want to do every day next week, so I can jump in and have a productive week next time around.
Then I have Rachel.
I am going to be working on some schoolwork because, yay, winter semester. But the fun part is I get to write an essay about dinosaurs, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm taking a geology class that's the Mesozoic era, and I love dinosaurs. I was like, sweet, I get credits for this, so I have to write an essay on plate tectonics. It's gonna be great.
Cool. And then I have Megan.
I will probably be dividing my time up between two projects. One, my shiny new murder bachelor in space idea that I talked about last week.
Wait, it's in space?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
cool.
my god, I love it even more.
That I'm nervous but excited to write. And then also Kyra and I are working on book 3 in the trilogy that we're writing together. So
Oh, jeez.
it's my turn to write that chapter. We're rationalizing it because we've pantsed this entire series. And so if we don't write the third one, we won't know what things to edit in the first one. So
That's smart.
it's fun.
Yeah. I'm working on revisions for my nano project, so I actually have to write a brand new scene, and I've been putting it off all week, so I guess I'll do that tonight.
I guess.
I was like, I thought I was done writing this book.
Never ends.
Never.
We got a lot of people saying hey in the discussion section. Welcome. We're so excited you are here. Some of you were already writing, which is just very responsible of you. I've written twice this year.
Probably do our first sprint at the 40.
Yeah, let's chat a little.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just say for all of you longtime subscribers, I changed my setup a little bit. I'm at my desk in a different room, but the light's kind of weird. So if I swear I'm not in a hostage situation, it just kind of looks like it.
When we were in pre-chat, I couldn't see your windows, and so it really looked like a hostage situation.
I
But they're really nice kids.
with my textbooks.
Really nice kidnappers, though. They're like, I guess you can go to your little live chat with your friends.
Don't tell anyone what's happening here.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't miss this chat.
I have to seem normal. I can't seem like I'm kidnapped. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. What's your Wi-Fi password? And they're like, oh my god.
Rachel, blink twice if you need us to come help you.
I'm good so far.
Oh gosh. Has anyone read any good books this year?
It's like the second week of January.
Like, I've read 5 books already, which
Oh
is
my
That's
God.
quite a lot
job.
already.
I went to the
It's
library.
0.
I haven't started reading. when I went to the library, and I can't
you get?
remember. I'm about to start The Wrath from the Dawn.
Yes.
Nice.
And because I haven't read it yet, and everybody I talked to says it's really good. So, and then I got some word books that you guys had told me to read. So, I need to read those.
I just finished Want by Cindy Pon, and I really liked that.
Oh.
Really good. Yeah. I'm in like my big like reading push for the year because in March I had like an event at work where I had to talk about like my favorite books from last year, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff from last year that I meant to read that I didn't, and I'm like, these might be my favorites. I have to read them before March. So I have a whole bunch of books to read. They're like stacked on my desk at work. It's great.
I just finished The Bear and the Nightingale.
That's on my desk.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. It was a weird thing because it's technically just a regular fantasy with young characters, and so the writing was a little bit distant, I guess. So it was just that kind of like, it had a high fantasy way of writing, but the story was really good and the mythology of it was really good. And I've heard there's a sequel, and I'm really excited for it because the end of the book was just left me wanting more.
Yeah, we have it at work because School Library Journal had it in their like best adult books for teens list for last year. So
yeah, it was good. Do recommend.
So we're starting our first sprint in a couple minutes, and we always have prompts for our sprints. And my prompts today are all adjectives. So mostly because I came up with them an hour ago.
What? No.
No, I totally prepared very far in advance for this chat. The first prompt is sticky. Could be a sticky situation that your character's in, or maybe they've just stepped in bubblegum. Whatever way you can incorporate sticky. And of course, you don't have to use the sprint or the prompt. You don't have to use the prompt if you don't want to. But if you need something to write about, there you go. Sticky.
Excellent.
I can already tell this is going to go really well for me tonight.
You have an A+ mug though, so everything is fine. Disney. No, Universal. Sorry.
No, it's Universal. Fortunately, it doesn't have Hogwarts on it. I was hoping it would.
Wow. Demoted to A-.
It does have a sweet roller coaster on it.
The Hulk.
It's the 40. Let us do the writing and the stuff.
40. All right, so we will be back in 20 minutes on the hour. Good luck, nerds. And time. Welcome back, everyone. How did everyone do?
Not bad.
Yeah, 436.
Nice. I got like 100 because I'm trying to figure out how to fit some world building into this scene.
Yeah. I got like 50. I like went back and like I wanted to read a little bit so I could remember, and then I got caught up reading because I was like, this is pretty interesting. I'm just gonna read this.
That's good, at least.
And like maybe if you keep reading, the end will just show up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Magically, someone will have come and written it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The elves in the night.
Yeah. Like the elves that help the cobbler. Like, why can't we have one
Yeah.
writing?
Yes.
I need some of those.
Oh. We've got people sharing their word counts in the discussion section. You guys are doing amazingly. Got word counts all across the board, it looks like. We had a question before we went in that I know Emma has an answer to because we were just talking about this the other day. But someone asked for audiobook suggestions.
Gosh. Yes, so I will say that I tend towards contemporary for audiobooks because especially sci-fi I have trouble with because I miss out on details and I'm super lost. And fantasy too. Like I feel like contemporary doesn't require quite as much focus for me. But I liked Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy was a good one. And Dear Martin by Nick Stone. And also Jason Reynolds' new book, which is actually a book in verse. It's called Long Way Down. It's amazing in audio because Jason Reynolds reads it. And you should read all audiobooks now because he has a beautiful voice. But yeah, so I liked all of those ones a lot. It's always a good idea to like try and find samples of them because I feel what really makes or breaks it is like the narrator. So if you can even just listen to a little bit and make sure that like the narrator's voice doesn't like annoy you, then it'll probably be good.
Yeah. The Raven Boys has really good audiobooks.
Yes.
I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard that Six of Crows is good as an audiobook.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
I listened to that one.
Not an audiobook person, so I'm just so people are told.
Yeah, I've also listened to, sometimes I use audiobooks for like really long books that I'm like, I don't have time to read this. So I've listened to the last couple of Cassandra Clare books. So Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows. I listened to those as audiobooks because they're just really long. And they're good audiobooks. I like them. So.
We had another question from Tess. What is the difference between sci-fi and dystopian? I'm playing around with a new story idea and have no idea how to classify it.
You could always make it a sci-fi dystopian.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say most dystopians are sci-fis. Like,
yeah.
Dystopian is a
sci-fi.
sub-branch of sci-fi. For the most part. You can definitely have dystopians that aren't, but generally when you're thinking dystopian.
Yeah, I feel like there's some like literary dystopians that aren't necessarily sci-fi. Like Handmaid's Tale isn't very sci-fi. But yeah, it's a subgenre, so it falls within sci-fi usually.
Yeah. And in general, if you're writing a sci-fi that could not also be categorized as a dystopian, then you're probably looking at something that is set straight up in space. Think spaceships, very futuristic, lots of technology. Whereas dystopian, while it is still the future, like a sci-fi, a lot of times something bad has happened that oftentimes, even though technology might exist, the society itself is living in like a much more life or death sort of things have gone wrong in trying to create a good society.
The world ended.
The world ended.
Coincidentally. I don't know. And
So I think like, I think someone mentioned like the Hunger Games versus Ender's Game.
Really anything based in like a what if around science can be science fiction. So like a plague would kind of be science fiction. Or aliens coming to Earth rather than us going to aliens. Like there's a lot of different things you can do with just kind of the imagining of what science might do.
We've got people mentioning or recommending audiobooks in the discussion section now, which is awesome. I'm going to add them all to my list.
Reading through a list of like sci-fi subgenres now, like superheroes are science fiction. A lot of like horror with monsters, science fiction.
Okay.
Who knew?
Like space opera isn't the be-all and end-all of sci-fi.
Yeah. Should we set the next sprint?
Yes. Let's do it at the 10.
Excellent. I was going to say something, but I don't remember what it was. Now I'm just talking to fill the blank space.
Megan, I'm about to give you a link to School Library Journal's top audiobooks of 2017, so you can share that with everybody, because that's another great place to start. That's a bunch of librarians who listen to a lot of audiobooks, so yeah, good recommendations.
Yeah, so that link again, if you didn't catch that, it's the School Library Journal's best audiobooks of 2017. And I just put a link to it in the description. Do we have a prompt for the next sprint?
Yes, we do. The prompt for the next sprint is shattered. Shattered mirror, shattered hopes, shattered peace. Anything that can be shattered. Hopefully it's not a mirror though, because that's really bad luck. But maybe your character's name that.
I forgot to use sticky.
Okay, I only wrote 100 words. There's no sticky in there.
If we miss your question about reading or writing, please feel free to re-ask it. I'm probably not ignoring it. I tend to not ignore any questions if they've been asked. So again, feel free to re-ask if we skipped yours. Two more minutes till our next sprint.
Is everybody sick?
Yeah.
But tomorrow's a holiday in the US, which is great. I'll have to go to work.
Nice.
Yeah. Except for I'm self-employed, so I have to work all the time.
It's nice when you can schedule, like, do your schedule like you need to, but awful when you don't get holidays off.
Yeah. For like the first time ever, my boss emailed me at Christmas time and was like, hey, just don't worry about it. I've got the videos for this week. And it was the weirdest feeling. It was like sat there like, what am I going to do with all this free time that I don't have to feel guilty about using?
I had like a whole week off for like the holidays, and like by the end of it, I was like so tired. Like I was like, I love being off and not having to go to work, but like I'm ready to go to work.
Yeah. I like having the house to myself. like my introverted self is like, I love having my husband home, but I want him to go back to work so that I can have the house to myself and get work done.
No.
It is for 10.
It is for 10, yes. So remember the prompt is shattered, and we will reconvene at the half hour.
Excellent.
And time. Another sweet win. Megan had a really great fun sprint, I can tell.
Yeah. I definitely wasn't Snapchatting the other WordNerds during this.
Looks at phone.
I know.
Yeah,
like,
we're sorry to inform you that Megan and I are leaving the WordNerds to start an engineering firm because we've given up on writing.
Writing is so hard.
Sounds reasonable.
Yep. I'm sure we can like build bridges or something. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
That's not hard, right?
I built like a toothpick bridge in 7th grade for science class.
Same.
Sure, I can build a
I
real
built
one.
so many fictional bridges.
Yeah, exactly. You've read enough.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'll read some books on it and then I'll be good to go.
Exactly. I also realized that halfway through this, I was like, I'm gonna go up and like go grab something, and I was like, oh yeah, I have a light in this room, so I no longer look like I'm being held hostage. Or if I do, it's just a very well lit room. Technology.
Not a hostage situation.
It's a more illuminated hostage situation.
Yeah.
While I
I
was
wrote, like-
writing, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I think I wrote like close to 200 that time.
I
I
got
don't know.
275.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Just writing words and hoping they make sense.
Yeah, that's the best we can all hope for, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got 167.
Oh, yeah.
I got 79 short answers. Short answer questions.
I found out halfway through writing that one of my main characters' names is not their name. So now I have to figure out what their name actually is.
Whoops. I would love to stay for longer. I know we usually do 3 of these sprints, but I'm not feeling super great, and my laptop is also almost dead. So I'm probably just going to sign off a bit early tonight.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same with Desiree.
Everyone's sick.
Feel
Yeah.
better. But the 3 of us are gonna stick around and do another sprint. So if you want to stick around and keep writing too, we will be here.
Exactly. I will see all y'all next week.
Yeah. Hope you
Next
guys
Sunday.
feel better.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Don't get too
Bye,
sick.
guys. And then there were 3.
I like just ate not long before the chat, but I'm getting hungry again.
Mhm. I had pizza, but now there's no more pizza.
Yeah.
Life is so hard. Why do bad things happen to good people? We've got people sharing their word counts in the discussion section. Looking good. We're going to be doing one more sprint for the person asking. This will be our last sprint, though. It'll last 20 minutes. But that'll be in a few minutes, probably. I feel like I had another question written down somewhere. I can't find it.
Ask it again if it was you.
What a day. What
Yeah.
a day. It's never going to end.
In like 3.5 hours on the East Coast, it will end. It'll be tomorrow.
Then I have to do a work project, so I'll probably still be up. Because I don't know why, but like I have work projects due every Saturday, and about 2 out of 4 Saturdays I forget every single time. And I wake up Sunday morning and it's just like, oh crap, what was I thinking? I have a project due every Saturday. How's the bullet journaling going?
Gonna be a busy week. Lots to do.
Kelly, do you have a plan for how many books you want to publish this year?
I don't. I should, but I don't.
100. I made it for you.
100,000.
And then if only one person buys every single book,
$100.
you'll have a lot of money.
There we go. Life plan. Done. Really, if I can do 100 this year, I never have to do anything ever again. When we were talking about books earlier that we'd read, I was looking at the ones I'd finished already and realized that one of the ones I got an arc for, Heretics Anonymous, it doesn't come out until August.
Oh,
I did
wow.
not think that was a thing. Like,
Very
I have that on my TBR for this year.
don't need to read it yet. It's going to be a while. I feel like I read it way too early to talk about it.
I know. When I have arcs, I either like read them way too early, or like I forget about them until after they've come out, and then I'm like, oh, I guess I should read this.
Yeah. I rated A Crown of Wishes on NetGalley like 6 months after it came out. Like, I'm really sorry, guys.
I've just stopped requesting very many of them because I'm like, there's no point. I'm not reliable enough to read these.
And I feel bad for requesting them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know eventually they'll just stop letting me have them because I'm so bad about reviewing them.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I'm hoping this year gets a little better with reading because normally I've read several books by now because I get a huge burst of energy at the beginning of the year. And that has not happened this year, so we're 2 weeks in and I've read no books, which 2 weeks in, no books isn't that bad for middle of the year, Megan.
Yeah.
January, Megan.
I've read 4, which is less than I thought. But I'd finished more than that already. Maybe it's not. And one of those was a very quick graphic novel that I read in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, one of mine was a graphic novel as well.
Yeah.
Trying to like build up a buffer so that I actually feel on top of things rather than like starting the year feeling like I'm going to be behind, so why bother? It's very possible that come next year I will have learned that maybe I shouldn't have a goal and I should just read for fun. But I don't know. Having a Goodreads goal helps me remember to like make it a priority. I like reading. I just don't always. Sometimes it's easier to just sit and watch something. But
Yeah.
I need to remember that books are good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, today in my bullet journal, I actually made a list of all the shows I still want to at least try watching. I don't know why I did that. That was not a good list to have. There are so many.
Yeah. I forgot to tell Desiree that I started Black Mirror.
Oh, did you? Oh, we're going to talk about this later.
Yeah. We'll talk about this. All right, so
I watched the first episode 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. We'll do our next sprint in 2 minutes at the 40. And our last prompt is oily. So like a
gross words.
like a Can you tell I was cooking when I made half of these? Okay. Like a bottle of olive oil, a strange substance left behind by a demon, or Severus Snape's hair. I'm really proud of that one.
That just reminded me of this really random thing I have to tell you guys in the post chat. Because I can't say it on air.
I'm so intrigued.
One minute. And Griswold said The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is free to watch until tomorrow on Amazon. Which
Oh, is it not going to be free anymore? Weird.
I'm wondering if they did like a non-Prime person pass or something.
Oh, it's possible. Yeah, they're letting everybody watch it. It's
That
very
was
good.
very
Everyone
good.
should watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one quite a bit.
That was on my list. But I know as soon as I start this, I won't work until I finish this list. So
But it's
Yeah.
quick. It's only like 10 episodes.
That's still a whole like day.
Okay.
It's worth it though. All right, so it is the 40. We're gonna write for another 20 minutes until the hour, and the prompt is oily, which you can use if you want, or not if you don't.
We are a lively bunch today.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys in 20 minutes.
Excellent.
And time. Yay! Last sprint done. It was my best one, at least. I got like 250 words. So.
That's great for you. I wrote 111 words and then spent 15 minutes looking at Thor fan art. So
a worthwhile use of your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some great fan art out there. A lot of Thor and Loki romance fan art, which I don't get, but there's a lot of it. How'd it go for you, Kelly?
I finished what I was doing, which was good. Although, since we're admitting things, my last sprint was more like, oh, I did a little bit, and then we were talking about audiobooks, and I've got a credit, so let's shop for audiobooks. So, you know, that kind of night, I think.
Yeah, it feels like that kind of night.
Although I did find there's a series I wanted to read, and they had the entire series is one audiobook, so for 1 credit, you got 5 books. So that's what I did.
What?
That's cool.
I did have to mute myself for a little bit because I found a gift set that was Chris Hemsworth talking about how he wanted to fight all the other Chris's at once to become the one true Chris. And then he would play Captain America, but he would make himself Captain Australia. And he would ride a kangaroo.
Sure.
It was a great use of my time, for sure. No regrets.
Productivity role models.
That's why we haven't done a video on productivity in a long time. Because I'm getting worse at it. But I've written like half a chapter tonight, so can't complain.
Yeah. Do you have any last minute questions or comments?
Yeah, we do. Dark Deluxeful asked if any of us play D&D, which I don't think any of us do.
I've always wanted to try it.
Same.
But I'm so nervous about it. Like, I want to try it with other people who didn't know what they were doing.
This is why we all need to live in the same place.
Like, is D&D a thing we could do over webcam? Probably. I don't know enough about how it works.
Someone
Because
tell
you
us.
guys I would play with.
Yeah. We had another question. What's your favorite genre to write in and why?
Mine's definitely fantasy, and it's mostly just because that's what I've always read. So.
Yeah. Same. Fantasy. I usually write more like, what's the word? Not high fantasy. More like modern fantasy, but still like full-on fantasy worlds, like more character-based, I guess. Because I'm not the greatest at world building. It's something I'm working on. But I do love world building, and I love being able to make up all the rules. There's a lot of rules when you write contemporary, and a lot of things you can't do.
Yeah.
That you can do when you're writing fantasy.
Yeah, it's like I love world building, but then like I wish I could just world build as much as I want and not have to do anything extra. So it's like,
and then people just
have
come
to
to
like,
People just see what I'm seeing in my head. Yeah, they just know.
Everything just works. Okay, just accept it the way it is.
Yeah. Just for a slightly different answer, maybe I'll say science fiction, just because like it's the same, like the rules don't apply, but you have more of the modern base to work from in a lot of cases of like, it's our world and then some, plus all this stuff I want to do.
It's our world plus technology that can function like magic.
Yeah. Technology that, let's face it, really is magic.
I'm not seeing any other questions. Everyone's sharing their word counts. You guys did great.
Better than us in a lot of cases.
We do have another question from Andrew Walker. How do I rewrite my book?
Like literally rewrite
Cry.
the whole thing, or revise it, or
It says rewrite.
Step 1, cry.
Step 2, whine.
I've done it on a smaller scale for some like editing things where I will like either print out or have on a separate screen the chapter I want to rewrite, and then it forces me as I'm trying to like retype it out. I see the problems and fix it as I'm rewriting it. It takes a long time, but it's still a lot faster than like first drafting.
Yeah.
So take what works, leave what doesn't.
Yeah. And give yourself time. I've been working on rewrites, like a full rewrite for the first time ever, and I find myself getting frustrated with myself, feeling like I already wrote this book once. It should go so fast this time, but it doesn't. All right, should we call it for the evening?
Guess so.
We have videos up every week. If you want more write-ins, more prompts, any of that, we have a huge backlog of write-ins that you can go back and watch. If you go to wordnerdsvlog.com, we have a whole section called virtual write-ins, and you can just go down the line or watch them all on a playlist.
Watch our hair change over time.
Yes, it has changed a lot over time. And what are we talking about next week?
Plot twists.
Plot twists.
Yeah.
Yes. So we'll be back next week talking about plot twists. Is there anything I'm missing?
We're reading Chamber of Secrets for our book
Yes.
club this month, so read that if you haven't, because we're going to spoil some things.
Yeah. That whole second Harry Potter book's going to be spoiled.
Let's face it, probably some stuff in the other books too.
Yeah.
I have a
We've had
couple weeks
20
to read the
years
entire
to
Harry
read
Potter
Chamber of
series.
Secrets at this point. All right.
If you've been waiting, now's the time.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for joining us tonight for our write-in. We hope we got lots of work done, more than us, hopefully. And we'll see you guys next Sunday for our next live chat and all week long for our regular videos. Bye!
Bye. Bye.